It's Friday, March 27th. In the headlines, Education Transformation Oversight Committee says education reform hits 37% progress. In business news, Ministry of Finance and Ministry of Commerce join forces to help small businesses. Regionally, the United Nations declares the transatlantic trade the gravest crime against humanity. And in sports, Reggae Boys hold firm against New Caledonia to advance to final playoff. This is the weekend news on PBC Jamaica. I'm Simone Absalom Gale. The Jamaica Urban Transit Company, JUTC, has expanded its service with the introduction of a new route, 612, linking Spanish Town St. Catherine and Oterias St. Anne. According to the state-run bus company, the move is aimed at improving connectivity between key towns, while providing commuters with more efficient and reliable transportation. The new route is expected to offer a direct link between the South Central and North Coast regions, reducing travel time and improving access to work, school, and leisure. Under the fare structure, adults will pay $400 cash or $350 with a smart fare card. Senior citizens will pay $200 using the card, while students, children, and persons with disabilities will also pay $200. The JUTC is encouraging commuters to use smart fare cards to access discounted fares and a smoother travel experience. Education transformation is steadily advancing, with the Trend program reporting a 37% implementation rate, up 5 points since the last update. Project lead Dr. Venice Morrison-Leon outlined the major gains in governance, teacher training, early childhood education, and post-disaster support during the latest Education Transformation Oversight Committee quarterly media briefing.
Reporting to those gathered, Dr. Morrison-Leon says progress is being made across multiple pillars, beginning with governance and accountability in schools.
We are currently at 37% in terms of our implementation and our progress. This represents a 5-point increase since the last period, and as was informed by our chair in our Q4 press conference, we will provide greater details on our implementation activities and our progress.
She shares that new governance guidelines are now being tested across 5 education regions, while more Jamaicans are stepping forward to serve on school boards.
The revised governance guidelines were developed, and our qualification standards are being tested across 5 of our regions 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. The focus remains on putting capable individuals in place to strengthen school-level governance. The reality is, colleagues, when we have strong governance in our schools, the success is inevitable. All right? And so we are making sure that we improve our governance structures in our schools. To date, the National Council has received over 100 applications for volunteers to serve on school boards.
Her update also highlighted gains in early childhood education, with teacher retention and training expanding across the sector.
As it relates to teacher support, ECD 4 addresses quality of teaching and learning in our early childhood institutions. And we want to report that we have retained, through our HOPE temporary trained teacher program, 302 teachers, and in September 2026, we're going to be adding 108 teachers. So we will have 410 teachers in our early childhood institutions.
Thousands of educators and stakeholders are also being trained to strengthen teaching and learning nationwide.
TG1 targeted retraining of our teachers, and over 7,186 primary school teachers and principals benefited from training. Over 1,898 of our stakeholders participated in training and received literacy support. And for that, we are very grateful.
Dr. Marissa Leon says additional support from psychosocial services to learning kits has also been rolled out as the Education Ministry continues to modernize Jamaica's school system. Reporting for the news on PBCJ, I am Denita Rodney.
Firefighters are first on the scene when emergencies strike, putting their lives on the line to protect others and to save property. In part 2 of this feature, Denita Rodney takes a closer look at the people behind the uniform and the work they do.
When they're not battling unpredictable flames, what keeps firefighters busy?
Well, we do a lot of things when we're not responding. Some of us love to cook here, so you will find that we put together and we run both as Jamaican, I say, yes. Also, we do a lot of training. And if you can look outside, you'll see a boat, a floaty. So, well, it's not really a floaty, it's a blow boat. So we train in water training, we do rescue, fire rescue, we do extrication, that is motor vehicle extrication. So we'll go to areas, we'll find cars that are abandoned, we find the owners and get their permission, and then we'll use them to train. We train, we cook, we go out in the communities, we collaborate with the community. We do what you call familiarization tours. So we'll go into the community, business community. We will see what they are doing, how they store their stuff, that in case we are called upon to respond to an emergency there, we have an idea what the facility is like. We also go into schools at times. We have morning devotions with them. All the primary schools in Yalas, we have covered all of them in devotions.
To take on the flames, firefighters need the right gear. What essential gear and tools do firefighters rely on?
2, 1, ground. So this is how we descend the ladder. One person standing by to ensure the safety of the person who is climbing down from the ladder. So when we count him down, he knows exactly where he is on the ladder so that he does not hurt himself. So here we have a firefighter in his PPE. He has his helmet. On this helmet, we also have a visor. The helmet is here to protect his head from any falling debris. The visor protects his face from any spill, from anything that is flying from a distance, that it doesn't damage his face in general. We have the jacket here. When you open the jacket, you can see that it has an inner lining. This inner lining protects the firefighter from heat, it protects him from cold, it protects him from being wet, because on the back you have another lining which is slightly waterproof or water resistant. Also, I want to point out something which is in the jacket. This is a safety mechanism. In case a firefighter is down, we can drag a firefighter to safety. We also have his gloves to protect his hands from any. These gloves, they are heat resistant, so we can hold hot zincs and so forth with these gloves. The pants is similar to the jacket, also has an inner lining, the same material as the jacket. We have his boots. Two key things about this boot is that this boot has a steel in the toe. So if any debris or anything heavy falls on his feet, the steel is there to protect his toe. Also, the bottom of the boot is somewhat oil resistant. So if he steps in any oil, he does not slip. Or slip resistance, I should say. If he steps in an oily area, he won't slide very easily. This is the cab where the men travel when we are responding to an emergency. And if you look closely on those blue-looking cylinders, you see they have what we call a back plate. That is how we put them on. We wear them like a knapsack. It is called a BA set or a breathing apparatus set. That is what we use when we are going into areas that have toxic smokes and those things that are not conducive to life. That is what we use to protect our lungs.
In a weather update, Jamaicans are being advised that a trough currently across the Western Caribbean is expected to linger across the region through to early next week. Therefore, expect an increase in rainfall activities across Jamaica beginning Friday afternoon through to Sunday. According to the Meteorological Service, the forecast is for mostly cloudy conditions with periods of showers and thunderstorms, which may be heavy at times, to affect sections of most parishes, primarily southern and northeastern parishes, especially during the afternoons. Fishers and other marine interests, especially inshore and offshore the south coast, should exercise caution as sea conditions will deteriorate in the vicinity of showers and thunderstorms. Time now for the business report with Denise Williams.
Welcome to today's business report. I'm Denise Williams, bringing you the developments shaping markets, capital access, and business decision-making across Jamaica and the region. Let's get into the stories that matter. When you see myself and Finance Minister Favour Williams in the same room, you know something big is going to happen. And that was the quote from Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce, Mick Aubin-Hill, yesterday when he made these comments to the filled to capacity room of small business owners yesterday at the Exim Bank conference room, who came to hear how government plans to make access to government contracts easier. In fact, the room held the major players of the business ecosystem who came out yesterday to the call of Garnet Reed, president of the Small Business Association of Jamaica, Milverton Reynolds, chairman of the Public Procurement Commission, PPC, Mrs. Nadia Morris, executive director of the PPC, Dr. David Lowe, managing director of the Development Bank of Jamaica, Errol Barnaby, the acting CEO of the Exim Bank, and Sansia Bennett Templar, MIC permanent secretary, came out to throw their weight behind the SBAJ's drive for government contracts. Finance Minister Favour Williams said that currently only 1% of government contracts goes to the micro sector of the business community, and that is going to change.
Today's meeting is about more than procurement rules and administrative procedures. It is about opportunity. You hear me?
Yes.
Opportunity. It is about growth. And it is about ensuring that more Jamaican businesses, especially our micro and small enterprises, are able to participate meaningfully in government contracting.
Both ministers gave their commitment to ensuring that the systems become smoother and easier for small business owners to access government contracts, worth billions of dollars. For the trading period of March 26, 2026, the most actively traded securities were Trans-Jamaica Highway Limited with 4,057,618 units, representing 15.28% of market sales activities. Supreme Ventures Limited with 3,726,863 units, representing 14.03% of market sales activity. Kingston Wharves Limited with 2,002,746 units, representing 7.54% of market sales activities. Investor activity remained concentrated in transportation, gaming, and logistics play, signaling continued interest in dividend-producing and strategic assets. Turning to the foreign exchange market based on Bank of Jamaica data for March 26, 2026, Forex traders recorded significant activity with strong demand across major currencies. For the US dollar, trading margins reflected steady liquidity, with the US selling at $158.94 and buying at $157.10. For the Canadian dollar, moderate gains supported by $5.73 transaction spreads. The Canadian dollar sold for $109.79 and was bought for $115.52. For the British pound, continued volatility offered short-term trading opportunities of 75 cents in profits for the banks. The British pound sold for $211.13 and was bought for $211.88. These movements underscore the importance of cash flow timing and currency awareness for businesses managing import costs, debt servicing, or overseas exposure. For our credit report tip of the day, we still don't talk enough about the financial side of menopause, and that silence is costly. There's also a hard truth we need to acknowledge. Many women enter menopause financially exposed, and the women who navigate it best financially are often the ones who built options, access, and flexibility before they needed it. The credit report may be invisible in this conversation, but it has the power to quietly carry you through it. And this is where the conversation needs to evolve. Menopause is not just a health event, it's a financial risk period. And like any risk period, it requires preparation, structure, and tools. One of the most underutilized tools, your credit profile. Not just your score, but the full architecture behind it. Payment history, credit utilization, available limits, diversity of accounts, access to affordable capital. Why does this matter during menopause? Because this phase often introduces unpredictability, unpredictable energy, unpredictable focus, and sometimes unpredictable income or productivity. And unpredictability requires flexibility. And that is what a strong credit position gives you. And that's today's business report. I'm Denise Williams, bringing you clarity to capital, markets, and strategy. Until next time, stay informed, stay intentional, and keep building forward. See you soon.
Thanks, Denise. In regional news, we begin in Grenada. A historic vote at the United Nations is being welcomed across the region as the global body formally declares the transatlantic slave trade the gravest crime against humanity. The resolution, brought forward by Ghana and backed by CARICOM and the African Union, is being seen as a major step forward in the push for reparatory justice. GBN News has this story.
More than 100 countries voted in favor of the resolution at the United Nations, officially recognizing the transatlantic slave trade as one of the greatest crimes in human history. The move comes amid renewed global calls for reparations, particularly from Caribbean nations still grappling with the legacy of slavery.
What we had yesterday, coincidentally, March 25th, is the International Day for the remembrance of victims of slavery and the slave trade. And allow me to congratulate the government and people of Ghana for piloting this bill. And of course, CARICOM and Grenada supported and voted for this resolution. What this has done is to put reparations front and center on the United Nations agenda.
The resolution, introduced by Ghana's president on the International Day of Remembrance of the Victims of Slavery, calls for formal apologies, reparations, and the return of stolen cultural artifacts. While not legally binding, it is being viewed as a powerful statement of international consensus.
Ghana is now lead country within the African Union with regards to reparations. Now, reparations is being discussed in the hallowed walls of the United Nations in a very serious way. And this particular resolution, what it has done is to designate or to say to the world or proclaim that slavery and the Atlantic slave trade is the gravest crime against humanity.
However, the vote was not unanimous. The United States, Israel, and Argentina voted against the resolution, while the United Kingdom and European Union abstained, highlighting ongoing resistance from some former colonial powers.
We understood and we expected in a real sense that the European Union and the United Kingdom would not vote in support of the resolution, but they abstained. Only Argentina and Israel voted against. Be that as it may, we believe that we continue, this is additional pressure on the former colonizers, their institutions, their families, to come face to face with the historical fact and the truth that the millions of Africans were enslaved in the so-called New World in the Americas.
Grenada, through its National Reparations Committee, remains part of CARICOM's unified push under its 10-point reparations plan, which seeks compensation, development support, and formal acknowledgement of historical injustices.
The CARICOM has outlined the 10-point plan, which is really a developmental plan. So that when we speak of reparations, we speak of a development plan. We're not asking for monies in our individual pockets, but we are saying that the harm which was caused by these crimes against humanity, and let us not forget the indigenous genocide and the fact that the Kalinagos and the Arawaks and so on were the first inhabitants of our soil, that the harm which was caused must be repaired.
Gill says the focus now shifts to what comes next, turning international recognition into tangible outcomes. Again,
we're able to continue to champion the issue of reparative justice and to ensure that it is a main topic on the agenda on the international stage.
The United Nations resolution is not legally binding, but Caribbean leaders say it marks a turning point in the global conversation on reparatory justice. For GBN News, Janelle Dick.
We kick off things for our sports report with football. Jamaica's Reggae Boys moved to within one win of FIFA World Cup qualification after securing a hard-fought 1-0 victory over New Caledonia in their playoff semi-final at the Guadalajara Stadium in Mexico. Bailey Kadamateri's 18th minute strike proved decisive as he reacted quickest to a rebound from Ronaldo Webster's free kick to give Jamaica a lead they held for the remainder of the contest. New Caledonia pressed late in search of an equalizer, but Jamaica's defense held firm to secure the win. The Reggae Boys will now face the Democratic Republic of Congo in Tuesday's decisive playoff final, with a place at the World Cup on the line. In athletics, Jamaica College have surged into what could prove an unassailable lead over Kingston College in the race for the boys' title at the 2026 ISA Grace Kennedy Boys and Girls Championships. On the girls' side, favorites Edwin Allen High are firmly in control, barring a major upset, look set to reclaim the title when the championships conclude tomorrow. JC, the 2021 boys champions, started on Friday at the top with 119 points from 14 of 42 events. They are followed by Kingston College, 68, Calabar High, 65.5, St. Jago, 41, and Woolmer's Boys, 30. Notable performance, KC's Jason Pitter, the defending champion in the Class 2 400 meters, retained his title in fine style, smashing Christopher Taylor's 2016 record of 46.33 seconds with a lifetime best 45.76. Edwin Allen High is leading the way among the girls with 94.5 points after 15 of 46 events. In second are defending champions Hydel High on 60, and they are followed by Homewood Technical with 57 points, Immaculate Conception 52, and Convent of Mercy Alpha on 30.5. In a thrilling Class 1 girls final, Kellyanne Carr of Edwin Allen held off a strong challenge from Heidel's Nastasia Fletcher, winning in a personal best of 52.20 seconds. Fletcher clocked 52.48 for second, while third went to Abrina Wright of Homewood in 52.81. Folga Road High picked up two big wins in the one-lap event. First, Shanika McLean posted a personal best 52.28 to win the Class 3 400 meters ahead of Sashana Johnson of Hydel 53.43 seconds and Anastasia Hall of Homewood 54.22 seconds. Paul Henry of Folga Road won the Class 1 boys event in 46.21 seconds ahead of Junior Gallimore of Hydel, 46.33 seconds, and Michaelan Woods of Jamaica College, 46.39 seconds. In cricket, West Indies has confirmed the availability and management plans of three of its frontline fast bowlers, Jaden Seals, Shamar Joseph, and Alzari Joseph, ahead of what promises to be a packed and demanding international season.
Seals and Shamar Joseph are both set to feature in the West Indies Championship, but in a carefully managed capacity. Seals becomes available from April 9th and is cleared to participate in rounds 1 and 2 of the competition. Shamar Joseph comes online from April 13th with managed practice sessions for the Guyana Harpy Eagles permitted before that date. Alzari Joseph, meanwhile, will miss the championship entirely. He has been granted a no objection certificate to compete in the Pakistan Super League as part of his recovery from an extended injury absence. CWI Director of Cricket, Maz Bascom, says the plans are deliberate, keeping the trio fit and sharp for a home series that includes Sri Lanka, New Zealand and Pakistan before the Caribbean Premier League. That follows tours of India and Bangladesh, rounding out a packed calendar for Caribbean cricket.
And that's the weekend news on PBCJ. You can follow us on our social media platforms at PBCJamaica. Stay dry this weekend.